Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So the other day, Game Rant put out this article about the 6 best romance anime films and they ranked them. So I kind of wanted to check this out just because I am a romance connoisseur. I don't know if I look like one, but I actually really do enjoy rom-coms and romantic animes and everything like that. So I did find this pretty interesting and I wanted to talk about it in a video and just see if I've actually seen every single anime that they listed here. There's only 6, but it's possible I haven't seen one. So 6 best romance anime films ranked. These anime films are both visually stunning and tell incredible stories that tug at the heartstrings. Now, I do actually recognize both of these images and I've seen both of these movies, so let's see what's on the list here. So Weathering with You at number 6, really? Okay, so I'm curious what else is on this list if that's at number 6. I also did a full-on review about this movie on the channel if you guys want to check that out. But they said Weathering with You is a gorgeous romantic adventure starring a high school boy named Hodaka. Hodaka runs away from his small town to Tokyo only to meet a girl named Hina who has the power to control the weather, which, yes, that is true. It's basically just a movie all about weather and love and romance and all that. So when I first heard the title of Weathering with You, I wasn't overly interested. I kind of was like, okay, a movie about weather and romance sounds kind of weird, but it turned out to be really good. So I think 6 is a pretty good placement, but let's see what else is on the list. At number 5 is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. So this is actually one that I have not seen, and here's why. Because like the title alone kind of like diverts my attention from this one. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Is a pancreas involved? I've never really looked into this, but I've always heard really, really good things about it. So maybe me and my fiance will watch it one of these days. She also has not seen it. But here, let's get a quick synopsis. Not all lovers are meant to stay together forever. And this fact is made evident in the film I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. This romance anime is an emotionally challenging ride from start to finish as it deals with many heavy themes. The film stars a high school girl named Sakura who has a terminal illness and her ordinary classmate Haruki. I think that's how you say his name. As Sakura's condition deteriorates, Haruki decides to help her check off all the things she wants to experience before she dies. The film is a celebration of life and is meant to emphasize on the importance of the present as nothing is guaranteed. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is bound to leave many fans in tears with its sad but grounded ending. Oh no, so it has a very, very sad ending. I can only guess here that she like, I guess dies? And then after checking off everything, so they kind of fall in love with each other, and then they probably realize at the end, hey, we want to be together forever. It sucks that she's dying. And I kind of wonder what things are on her checklist. Probably, stupid things like eating this or, riding this roller coaster, just things that are very meaningful to her. But yeah, it definitely has my attention with that. Just okay, so she does die, or maybe she doesn't die. Maybe she lives. Maybe he gives her. Oh, maybe the pancreas thing is like maybe she has like a pancreas kind of like illness or something. I don't know. Like I'm kind of confused with the pancreas title. Does it have something to do with that? But it definitely has me interested because I'm curious. What are the things on her list? What is the sad ending? Does she live? Does she die? Okay, so now it has me hooked. I never really read the synopsis outside of this video now, so yeah, I'm kind of hooked now. Okay, so the Garden of Words, I couldn't remember this from the picture up top, but it is at number 4. This one's actually really good. So what I remember about this movie is that she's a teacher and he's a student, and he is like a shoemaker essentially, and she kind of like hates her life. She doesn't love being a school teacher, and I think if I remember correctly, isn't she like kind of bullied out of the school or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. Now, what's interesting about this anime is the age gap between them and the forbidden love, I guess, is what the situation is about because he's a student, she's a teacher, but they obviously do have some kind of romance there as they spend a bunch of time with each other. And that's where we get the forbidden romance, which obviously it's not appropriate at all for them to be together. I would recommend this to anybody if they did watch it. It's not something I expected to like, but I ended up really enjoying it. And I would love to see some kind of continuation of it in the future, possibly. I don't know if they could do that, but I don't know. We'll see. So number 4, I think is pretty good. I think it's a pretty solid movie, but I wouldn't say it's like the best one out there. So Josie, I think that's how you say it. The Tiger and the Fish, not something I've heard of. Josie the Tiger and Fish is a charming and heartwarming romance anime film that has a very grounded but impactful premise. The film tells the story of a college student named Suneo, sorry if I'm pronouncing these names, I haven't seen it, who becomes a caretaker for a wheelchair user named Josie. Though starting off on the wrong foot, the two form a deep connection and begin to inspire each other to pursue their dreams. Interesting. Okay, so he is a caretaker of her, and she's in a wheelchair all her life. Though what's weird is, okay, so it's a romance anime, but she looks a little younger. I don't know, which is weird. So maybe it's not is it a romance? I don't know. She looks very young in this photo. So like seeing them two as some kind of romantic love interest seems kind of odd. But then maybe they're around the same age and she just looks younger and he's probably around like 15 or something in the show, but he looks like he could be 20. So interesting. So it's basically just them forming a deep connection. I'm definitely curious right off the bat on how they start off on the wrong foot and kind of what happens. Does he do something to her, or how do they end up meeting? Is he visiting a hospital for some other reason and they meet? It's definitely interesting, so maybe I'll have to check this out. I've never heard of this like at all outside of this list. All right, so at number 2, Silent Voice. Oh man, this movie gets me every time. This one is very, very good. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure most people watching this video have. So I think this is actually perfect for number 2, because this is definitely one of the best romance animes out there, just because it deals with a lot of grief. It deals with some serious issues like bullying and regret, essentially, where she is a deaf girl and he bullied her growing up, and then you see a lot of regret with him and him facing the challenges of trying to make it up to her for how much of a jerk he was growing up. And it definitely has its very sad moments. Like, I'm not going to go into any spoilers here, but definitely made me shed a tear, like towards the end especially. And yeah, it gets pretty wild in the same, like, I'm getting goosebumps again. Just think, I get goosebumps a lot talking about anime. I think that's a really good thing, especially with this one, because like it says here, it does carry a very powerful message, and there's so much that goes on in here. You can't help but not kind of sob at this one, and it really, really punches you in the feeling. So I fully recommend it, and it does have really good music and really great animation. So number 1, Your Name. I'm really not surprised by this at all, to be honest. One of the best. It's just one of the best out there. Absolutely love this. So this is kind of like one of your body swapping animes where they don't really know each other, but they're also trying to stop this big occurrence that is going to happen later on. I'm trying to tell you guys about it without spoiling it, but overall, really fantastic film. So one thing to highlight here is it says the story involves heavy twists near its end, which makes the story even more intriguing. It is definitely one of those kind of mind-blowing animes because you're seeing 2 different perspectives at once, and it deals with time travel and, again, body swapping. So definitely very, very intriguing for the story for sure. And then the romance aspect is really nice as well. So I definitely recommend this one as well. I'd probably recommend everything on this list, outside of the ones I haven't seen, of course. But for the most part, I think this is a pretty solid list. I feel like I would maybe bump Weathering You up just a little bit, just because I did actually really enjoy that anime. But then again, I haven't seen I Want to Eat Your Pancreas or Josie, to be honest. So honestly, I would argue that these 2 could definitely both be at the number 1 spot. So I think A Silent Voice is really good at number 2, but I think it could be really good at number 1 as well, because this is just so freaking good. All right, guys, so that's everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below, what is your favorite romance anime film? I figured this video would be fun to kind of just reminisce about these movies a little bit here. And honestly, very, very solid list by Game Rant, so I gotta give him props for that one. Anyways, though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.